Welcome to this week's edition of Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes. This week, the nerds discuss their weekly NerdOns, and they also talk video games with the newest Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer being released. They take a minute to talk about Stranger Things, Castle Rock, Swamp Thing, Rambo, Spawn, and the newest Antman and Wasp trailer. Whew, that's a lot, and guess what? There's so much more coming at you on this episode of Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes.
Nerds who get laid, who get laid. 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 Nerds who get laid, who get laid.
Welcome to another episode of Nerds Who Get Laid
Sometimes.
You got all five of us here, like it or not. We all showed up somehow.
Yeah.
We got TJ. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, doing good.
And happy 1 year bachelor party anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. He's all giggles over there.
The only thing that we should celebrate a year from ago from that. You know, like I'm
Yeah.
sure there's like I think a wedding happened a few days
Something
after
else
that.
happened, yeah.
But we don't give a shit. We like to remember the bachelor party.
We had
That
that
was-
keg of beer. I had those mojitos that exploded. I had that Chuck drank a shitload of my Mai Tai. Well, no,
Oh, it was-
Hurricanes.
Yeah.
As TJ said,
I had
he likes to
my
remember
weeds.
all the dicks that were all over Chuck.
I
We
felt
had-
it was just
an epic day. That the food was amazing.
Yeah, well, what wings and
two types of wings, a brisket, lamb,
We just had shit,
oh,
just
shit,
fucking
man.
bacon wrapped
smoking
shrimp.
all day.
We gotta have someone else get married, guys.
I know.
Oh,
Mike,
bacon wrap. I
Chuck.
forgot about that shit.
Time to get old Chuck hitched. Here
Yeah.
on Nerds to Get Laid, we're
Hey,
trying
what?
to get Chuck married.
Oh.
It's been my dream for the last 3 days or so. Like, I've thought about that to, let's get him hitched.
I remember you talking about it last week.
Yeah. You don't have to be pretty. You don't have to be hot. You technically don't even have to be a woman. He will marry a dude. We just want to get him hitched so we can party.
You're just saying
It
they
helps
need a
if you can
pulse.
cook well.
Yeah, that will. And
And can
But that's for
appreciate
our benefit, not his.
and can appreciate a cut of steak.
Yeah.
that don't really matter.
Well,
Yeah.
Nathan Ray,
No vegans.
feel free to renew your wedding vows.
We also got Mike, as you just heard. Ray's here, Chuck's here, and of course, I just don't get the hint.
Temp
I'm here.
host. And
Keep
Nathan.
showing up. One of the best compliments I got from old Chris Davis, an avid listener of us now.
Mm-hmm.
He says if he doesn't hear me within the first 10 seconds, he just skips the episode.
Oh my God, Chris!
What a
Fuck you,
suck
man.
Yeah, he was
Jesus.
sucking up pretty good. But my
Did he
head,
have to get off his knees at that point and
Yeah.
wipe his mouth
he
off?
had to get
when-
from behind me because he was eating the groceries, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
I'm surprised I understood what he was saying because like I'm listening.
I'm refusing to not laugh at that.
You're refusing.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh. I don't
You're
want to laugh.
refusing
Dude.
to not
to
laugh.
not laugh.
Yeah, I just caught that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not laughing at you, Nathan. You're not as funny as Mike, man.
Yeah, but that ass he thinks pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
man, guys, it was a free comic book day. It was there was some really cool stuff this week that we're about to go into. Overall, it's just been a good week for me. I'm feeling good.
Oh, good. We like it when you've had a good week, Nathan.
You know, it's
No one gives a
Not much
shit
of a
about
dick
you.
hole.
You're always a dickhole. It's just how big of
How
a
big of a
fucking
dick hole is he going to be?
Can I put my foot in this dick hole, or is it manageable?
I'm a
size?
big floppy dick hole. What can I say?
You're like a huge dick, but it's like 99% urethra. It's just very little penis. It's like a tube that's vaguely penis shaped.
God, that just sounds like a very weird wiener. All right, let's kick it over to Nerds
You
On.
want to see the noodle, baby? You can float down the river with this thing.
This crazy straw goes for Dave.
Get your nerd on. 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 Get your nerd on.
All right, welcome back to Nerd On. I have a good idea. I know what Ray nerded out on this week, but I also have picked up the gift of foresight. I don't know. No. All right, Ray, what you been nerding out on?
Well, I've been painting a lot of my miniatures this week. I put up a
have you?
I have. I put up a new
Were
video.
they of the X-Men?
I did some X-Men. I put up a video of Storm.
But not just X-Men, though, right?
No. I also did some Imperial Assault because we played Imperial Assault.
We did. We played Imperial Assault on Friday night, which also happened to be, well, I'll let somebody else talk about that.
I'm thinking I have some precognition sometimes, and I think your next X-Men painting video is going to be Cyclops.
See, this is one of those things that TJ does, where he bullered someone else's joke that was just told, and then there's a horse involved and a stick.
So for you
But
guys,
I'm on the edge of my seat about it.
for you guys listening, we had a
We had a technical glitch.
So Ray actually has already told us
I've
his
already
nerd
done
on
all this stuff,
and so
yeah.
we're gonna hear it again. But anyway, so you've been doing some paintings and some videos.
Yeah, I did a couple. I've done a time lapse video.
Wait,
I've been doing
those are time lapse. Wait, I thought you were that fast. Really fucking fast.
Deja vu.
So yeah, I put up a Storm one. I do have a Cyclops one, like TJ was saying. Since we were playing Imperial Assault, I had stripped all my stormtroopers because I wasn't happy with the way they looked.
Ooh.
I like them better.
Ooh,
than
I
you.
want to see that little blaster pistol.
Look at the
I
dick
repainted
on
a
that
few of
one.
those, and I've got a video of that's going to be coming up, and I'm still got more of them I'm working on because there's like 8 or 10 of them. But so we played Imperial Assault this week. It's kind of what they call an RPG in a box. It's campaign
It's almost like
based.
Dungeons and Dragons, like dungeon crawling.
Like
It
Dungeons
is
and Dragons
absolutely
Light.
Yeah. It is absolutely a dungeon crawling game. This is the first time we've actually played it. The other game that we played similar to this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1 versus all, so I played the Empire and the rest of the guys played Rebels.
The Rebellion.
So what did you guys think of this game?
So I thought the game was a lot of fun. Actually, I like the teamwork of it, like us all getting together and like having to work against Ray. I always like just trying to beat Ray.
Yeah.
Like
Especially
whenever we do games like this, number one, I'm mostly the person that reads all the rules and figures out how to play them. So I'm already the one that needs to be like in whatever the harder position is. But I know everyone's going to try to fuck me,
Like in the back of a Volkswagen.
power bottom.
Everyone's going to try to fuck me over in a game anyway. So me being the only one that they can try to fuck over is usually better for everyone, I feel like.
Well, I thought the mechanics were really easy to pick up, and like the way the game went from tutorial to there, it was made for baby steps where you can kind of jump in and really enjoy the game because we didn't even get into the full layout of the card.
Didn't even scratch the surface.
Thank you.
No, we haven't even gotten a chance to like upgrade our characters
Yeah, we
and all
haven't
that.
got earned XP at all for our characters.
Yeah, the last mission we did, we earned like 100.
I think you earned 400 gold pieces, but I think you only got like 1 XP.
Yeah, okay. But my favorite part of the game was when we start the game, we hand out suckers, and TJ decided to take his and throw it in the ground.
TJ was pissed.
Not part of your system, man.
Yeah. Well, it's like, not
I'll
only
need
did
your
I feel
handouts.
that I was inside the universe of Star Wars, but for a moment, I also got to feel I was part of TJ's house and one of his kids when he gets mad and starts yelling and pointing a whole lot.
Believe it or not, I don't yell a whole lot at home.
Talk very firmly.
He didn't
I do
yell
talk
then
firmly.
And
as much. He got a little more excited.
Oh yeah, he was.
Excitable, I would call it. But yeah, that was fun.
I want to play the game again. I enjoyed it. I would highly suggest it to anybody that out there that also does tabletop games.
It's based on the Descent game, which is another Fantasy Flight game.
Yep.
So it's a solid. It's got solid mechanics to it. I thought all the dice, the way they worked, and like everyone. I liked the way that worked. I thought it was very balanced.
I hated the dice layout at first, but it starts making sense after a while.
It's like, how is it only 5? There's like 3 explosions, and then there's a 5 next to it.
It'd be like
what the fuck is going
one
on?
explosion and a number 5. I was like, all right, that's
I'm like,
5 hits. All right, you hit for 1. Like, what the fuck?
What kind of dice is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. fucking.
Well,
and I thought Ray was Hancocking the rules.
Yeah.
Well,
It felt like that a lot.
I got a lightning bolt and a 5 and 2 explosions.
That
Did I
sounds pretty
win?
badass, right?
Yeah, did I win?
What do you mean I didn't hit? Fuck you.
And I like how, as we're getting closer to the ending, the second campaign, how it actually forces to work together because the time constraints on it.
Yeah. Well, and because I'm the only one reading the campaign stuff, there's surprises around the corner that you don't know about.
Illogical ones.
Yeah, and I didn't even tell you this. I had a choice. I could either make there were these terminals that the guys have to destroy so many of them between 6 rounds, but before 6 rounds was up. And I could have either done that, or I could have closed the door back, and the door had like 18 hit points. And
Oh, shit.
So you would have been stuck inside, TJ, with everyone.
Fucked.
Yeah. You would have been stuck inside with Super Machine Gunnist and the other stormtroopers, and then y'all would have been stuck outside.
That would have been so dirty.
Yeah. So I didn't choose that one. They were both pretty dirty.
I want to see
But
this rule
The
book.
7 hit points was a lot more fair than that other option was.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
TJ, get your stick out because that's all
I'm
you
really
got.
surprised you're able to withhold your Hancockness of going full dick mode.
Well, with a game like
that's
that,
Ray's only
game.
ever really a dick to TJ and Chuck.
No, he's done Nathan pretty dirty on Terraforming Mars
It's
before.
usually when Nathan does him dirty.
No, Nathan on Terraforming Mars is actually pretty calm. I kind of see some things where he could be a dickhole. And
Get your
all of a-
nose out
he
of his asshole.
I am not, seriously. And then all of a sudden, just
What do
Ray
we
and
have
Chuck
for
are
dinner?
just like-
Smell me.
just like poke the bear. It's like,
yeah. But with games like that, especially when you're the one like over the whole game,
yeah.
you can you can fuck people over all day long, and then guess what? People don't want to play the fucking game anymore.
Exactly.
That game sucked because whatever, but it doesn't actually suck. The person running it just sucked. So I try not to be that person. We also had free comic book day, so I picked up some more paints to do some more of this stuff, and I picked up some Moon Knight comics for 50 cents each. Got me a couple of them free comics that they were giving out. I didn't get the one I wanted. I wanted a Lady Mechanica because I've been into that comic since, for years.
Yeah.
And now it's like really churning along, but I wasn't able to pick one of those up. So if someone wants to send me one, go for it.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun because me and TJ and Mike and Katie all hopped in the Jeep and headed over to Gainesville. We hit up a few game shops, some comic shops, and we got some good old barbecue and
Toys
headed
R Us,
back.
too.
Toys R Us, yeah. That's still not dead yet.
No, I was surprised.
I said it was like walking through a rotten carcass that's being like slowly digested.
I felt like it was that cart man on Monty Python. I'm not
Bring
dead
out
yet.
your dead.
Yeah.
Dead yet.
But yeah, me and Mike had to hold back. Man, we were wanting to buy some fucking Nerf guns, you guys.
Dude,
we were
yeah.
going to come in here armed to the teeth and just blow y'all
Why
away.
not?
They had one of
Nerf guns
those
are fun.
Boomco ones with like the air clips. Oh, so fucking.
God, and they had like the 500 shot ones that are like $20, and it's like I remember when I was a kid that was at least $400. It had
Yes.
to have been.
No,
Yes.
I'm like,
Same with Super Circus.
are Nerf guns that cheaper or like?
Dude, there was one that had like.
because I bought some Nerf guns. I was like surprised on how cheap they were.
Yeah, they're fucking super cheap. Like even the crazy ones are cheap.
Yeah, the crazy expensive one was like $30 and
Yeah.
another 10% off
The
or something.
Sniper rifle, like one at
What?
Yeah.
there's some
Josh had that one.
there's some crazy ass fucking Nerf guns out
It's
there.
got like little
Stands
tripod and
stuff.
everything with
Yeah.
it. It's badass.
It's amazing.
So yeah, that was fun. Me and Allison went and saw Infinity War again, which is still great. A second viewing. I think by the end of it, like the first viewing, I'm really like trying to figure things out, watch things, make sure I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
But the second time, like the ending was a lot more emotional. It felt a lot more emotional to me. So that was really cool. I recommend if you have not seen it second time, go for it, man. It's worth it. It is. It's just a solid ass movie. I talked to a lot of people today about it because I saw some people at church, and of course they know Nerd. Come talk to me, and several people that like are not the kind of people that normally care about this stuff were like, that was a really good movie, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a pretty fucking solid movie just for a movie. Not like that was good for a superhero movie. It's a good
in general,
movie.
it's a good movie.
Which was the same way I felt about Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So I'm still not sure where I rank this one yet because it's 1 or 2.
Katie and I are going to go see it again this Saturday. We're going to go to Jacksonville see it in IMAX.
IMAX, yeah.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind seeing it in 3D.
Me and my buddy Nick are going to see it tomorrow night, hopefully.
Okay.
So if anybody would like to come along, you're more than welcome.
Monday night. I'll think about it. And then let's see. Oh, TV wise, I haven't had time to watch any like the long form shows because we've been trying to watch through
What was that word?
Lost
you
in
used?
Space. Long form.
Long form. Does that mean an hour long?
Longer. Yeah, probably an hour long. 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
So we've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's been great. We've still been burning through that. But we've been trying to finish up Lost in Space and just aren't able to knock those episodes out. And we still haven't started Westworld. And I thought fucking Legion was on Hulu, but it's not on there. So I'm pissed off about that. So
Is season 1 on there?
Season 1's on there, but season 2's not.
Okay.
How long has season 2 been out?
It's at least 3 or 4 episodes in.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. I would have swore I saw 1 or 2 episodes on there, but now it's gone. So I guess they're not putting it on there. It'll be later, whatever.
Maybe.
But I have been watching some more of season 2 of Into the Badlands. That's just kind of my show. Allison doesn't give a fuck about that. So it's still a lot of fun. I don't think it's as good as season 1, but it is, there's just so much badassery in it. Nathan, you watched a lot of that, or you watched season 1, didn't you?
Yeah, no,
Have you started 2 yet?
I hit play and watched like the first 10 minutes and it got sidetracked.
Gotcha.
So it's one of those shows I'll watch it on one of my days off when I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll hit play and I'll watch the whole thing in one sitting most likely.
I never remember the dude's name, but no, not Sonny. From Shaun of the Dead, the other guy,
Nick Frost,
the big guy.
Yeah.
He's in season 2.
Oh, is it?
Which is great.
That's pretty awesome.
So yeah, that's been really good and a lot of fun. So, have any of y'all watched Into the?
I've
Into
seen the
Badlands?
first season. I have not seen the second.
Okay,
yet.
you have watched the first season.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have not.
Now,
Okay, cool.
Sonny.
yeah,
Cher.
yeah, he's that guy. That dude's
Chaz.
creepy. So, but that's me for this week.
All right. Well, my nerd on. So I finally, I guess finally, it just came up, but I watched Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
I have read very mixed reviews on this.
Yeah, well, I'll say this: it's ridiculous
Okay.
in every form and every sense. It's like Japan got hold of Batman rights and just did their own crazy, wacky thing. There's mechs, there's ninjas,
Oh shit.
there's Robin can talk to monkey. Like it's pretty wonky.
Two monkey, like one monkey.
2A
or?
monkey, yeah, 2A
Oh, wow.
monkey.
Okay.
Like the premise is pretty straightforward. Gorilla Grog, he gets all the villains to come, to his headquarters, and then he time travels and sends them all back in time to ancient Japan. And
Where Batman was?
well, no, he sends Batman because Batman shows up. Batman shows up with Alfred and the guy's like the Batmobile, and he has like pretty much like fucking Red Hood, Nightwing, like all of them.
So he's
with
bringing
him.
the fucking posse,
So,
man.
Everybody gets sent back, and Batman gets sent 2 years ahead of time. Like everybody else had 2 years on him. So when he shows, like everybody else is already well established in Japan, and they've broken Japan into 4 different sections. And like Joker is Lord Joker, and he's pretty much the main guy. He's running everything, and Batman shows up. The art is beautiful. Like the way they drew it, it's pretty fantastic, and it's weird pacing. The story is fucking. I'm not joking. It's fucking crazy.
I don't
Like-
care, dude. Have you sold
Give-
already?
Give me like just a quick, solid example of how crazy it is.
At one
Robin talks
part-
to Monkey.
Well, yeah. At one part of the story, Gorilla Grog, he decides to come back to Batman's side because Batman saves his life. So he gives him a whistle to help control his army of monkeys, and 1 million monkeys show up, and they form a giant. They all band together and become a giant mecha monkey.
Are you fucking serious?
Because
And Uzaru,
and because
no
all-
one knows what that is, Mike.
Yeah.
if you watch Dragon Ball, you
Yeah.
do.
and then because all the
Like I said,
all
no
the
one knows what that
other
is.
all the villains have
Everybody
giant
but you two.
yeah, have giant mechs that they built. Like the Joker had this giant house that turned into a robot with hands, and I'm just saying it's just and then they all form together and make one mega robot.
Well, here's the question: did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I don't know if I can say I liked it because there's just parts like the story was just. It's not very good. Like I said, I stayed for the art, is what I would say.
Yeah.
And the action when they are fighting is really good. It's just the little bit of story you get there is just so dumb. I don't know. It's worth a watch. Like
I know I'm getting hung up on the wrong part, like I do sometimes. But they're building giant mechs in feudal Japan.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's like if you tell me, I'm like, man, that was cool.
Monkeys.
And I'm not saying that. Yeah, like visually, and when you see this stuff, you're like, that's fucking cool. But at the same time, this is fucking ridiculous because then the giant monkey is getting burned to death, and so a giant swarm of bats come and encape it, and it becomes a giant Batman. Like,
Man.
and you're just watching this going, what the fuck am I watching?
the hell? That sounds amazing.
I feel like that anytime I watch anime.
Yeah. I don't watch a lot of anime. Like the only real anime I watch is Attack on Titan, which isn't this crazy. As crazy as Attack on Titan is. But with that being said, like Chuck, watch it. You can watch it tonight when you go home. It's on the is it the Vumu?
Voodoo. Yeah, it's on
I have
Voodoo.
to say, I really like Voodoo's layout. I know this
I
is
do too.
completely sidetracked, like because I watch most of my movies on Amazon. But if you buy a movie on Vudu, when you pause it shows you like who's on screen, the actors. When you go out, it gives you the extra scenes and features. All the stuff Amazon doesn't give you. I really like the layout of that.
Yeah.
But with that, Batman Ninja, worth the watch. It's something just to go, what the fuck am I watching? Like the whole time you're like, this is really cool. This looks amazing. Like there almost every scene could be a wallpaper on your computer on the back of your phone.
Oh, nice.
Because it's so beautifully done. I also watched Logan Lucky last night. I don't know if you guys know this movie, but
the one with Adam Driver.
Yeah,
and
Channing Tatum, by the guy that did excuse me, the Ocean's movies.
Even Soderbergh.
Yes, that's his name. Thank you. They decide they're going to rob the NASCAR place. Like they drill into the bottom, and I guess they use like the banking tubes to shoot money into the vault, and they know where to get into and get the money out. It was a good movie. It wasn't great. It was something to watch. I felt that they thought they were being more clever than the movie really was. Because it had that whole Ocean's vibe of like, this is what we're going to do. They laid a plan out. They execute it. But the acting was really, really well done. James Bond guy, Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
He's in it, and he's fantastic. He plays pretty much their explosives guy. And he's one of the cool things is he's actually in prison, and they figure out a way to break him out to come blow it up and get him back in before anybody knows. And he plays just like this crazy. Everybody's country and hillbilly as hell. Like one of the scenes is like he's talking to Daniel Craig's brothers.
It sounds like a redneck Ocean's 11.
That's exactly what it is. Because they're like, well, man, we need someone that's good with computers. Though I'm good with computers. He's like, nah, man, we need one of them Facebook guys. I'm good with Facebook. I'm good with Twitters. I know all about those things. Like that's about the level of humor. I'm not justifying it. It's good. It's on Amazon Prime. It's free to watch right now. So if any of you guys have Prime,
So it's about a step up from like Masterminds or something.
Masterminds was funnier.
Okay.
I would say that. But I did this. It was very stylish.
What about with Delta Farce with Larry the Cable Guy and Billy?
Sadly, I never caught that one. Like I don't know why.
Man.
But no, it was good. Adam Driver was actually
his Oscar bait. What a just sellout piece of shit.
Old Channing Tatum actually wasn't bad. Like
he's a good actor.
He is actually like he did the role really well.
How was his accent? Was it his southern accent really good?
I didn't. I felt he wasn't acting. I felt that's probably actually who he really talks. It's just like he dresses very, I don't know, like hip hop trashy or something. But yeah, all the performances are really good. One of the interesting things I thought is he has a little daughter in the movie, like 5 or 6, and it's actually Elvis Presley's granddaughter.
Oh,
that she's in it, like little actress. Besides that, I did not know, but I had like 7 episodes of Silicon Valley to catch up on HBO, and I don't. None of you guys watch that show.
Nope.
HBO show, extremely funny. It's about guys that work in the tech industry, and they go through their struggles. their season's been up and down. This season actually has been pretty interesting because they're trying to make a better internet. Without watching the show, I won't go into the details of everything, but it's really good. I don't know why you guys don't watch it. It's a very funny show. And then the last thing that I've been nerding out on, I did it because we went to the beach the other day, and on the way back, I haven't listened to podcasts in a while. I've been listening to a lot of books. So I started a new podcast that I've never heard of before called Business Wars, and it's like 6 episodes about Marvel versus DC. And it goes all the way back to when DC first came out, Marvel first came out, and just the back and forth that they've had all the way to now, 2017 when the episode is made. So really awesome history lesson for anybody that's a fan of comics, especially DC and Marvel particularly, but just how it's so interesting because I know Ray knows a good about it, and TJ, you probably do too, but, like just how big DC was, and then, Marvel was these small potatoes, and pretty much the fight that they did to get where they are now.
Yeah.
It's, just interesting. The things that, like, I didn't know Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. I didn't know Jack Kirby hated Stan Lee to the day he died.
Yeah, they had a falling out pretty bad.
Bad one. Or just like in the jabs that, like, Lee would do in the books, like, they would call DC brand Eck in the comics and stuff like that, and how that would just rib the guys at DC so bad, and just very fun history. The guy, it's a really well done podcast. The only drawback I would say is he does a lot of ads throughout it. Like, I think there's usually 2 ad breaks. But luckily with the podcast app, you can just hit them little 15 seconds and skip through them. You guys don't know how good you have it listening.
But I know, listen to us.
You get an hour of no ads. By the way, Marvel Unlimited for only $9.99.
Yeah, you can listen to us on Spotify as well. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Have you heard about the new Casper?
Casper mattress? Ooh, I prefer purple personally.
Oh, I did get a new mattress this last week. I know this isn't a big nerd on, but we went with a factory direct. We're not
Chrissy
sponsored
was
by
telling
these
us about
guys.
that, yeah.
Just this is a 100% honest, my thoughts on it. So up to that, my back had been killing me, and I would get really bad shoulder stiffness. I didn't say that right. Anyway, like so bad, like I was like taking like over the counter med. I get headaches all the time from it. We bought that mattress, man. They've all gone away. Like just having a new mattress made.
What is the brand?
Fuck, I can't remember right now.
Bed.
Bed.
Well, the 2 I know is Purple and Casper.
So this one is,
It's different. Chrissy was telling me about that.
It's pretty much the cheaper version of Purple. Like a lot of people compare them to them. It's on the tip of my tongue. They're with Amazon, so they're 2 day because it was 2 day shipping. I was like, holy shit! Like this mattress showed up fast.
That's when your like Amazon Prime account really fucking pays for itself. When you have to order something that normally the shipping's going to be like $40, $50, $60 or more dollars on.
It's 100 pounds, so it would have easily been a $50 shipping.
Yeah, easily.
And it would have been 7 to 14 days anywhere else. It was there in 2 days at our house.
Nice.
You just woke up and you were sleeping on it?
FedEx guy's like, fucking goddamn. Like,
Now, is it like the other ones where you have to give it 24 hours to like foam, and it has
smush.
And they have the like if it goes down more than an inch in so many years they'll replace it and all that stuff.
it was.
I wish my dick had that.
It was only like 9 hours letting it air out, but it's
okay.
It's not memory foam. That's the big difference to this one. So it's not hot, and it's not supposed to lose the form. I get these are things I didn't know until buying a mattress, but memory foam will like slowly get the indentions where you sleep. This is supposed to always,
groove.
And I have to say, man,
The Simpsons.
it's one of those beds when you lay on, like it's not like overly comfortable. It's kind of soft, kind of firm, and I would, if you would ask me, I'd be like, I don't want a firm bed.
Yeah,
it's done wonders for my back.
I like a firm bed.
Yeah, I have to sleep on a firm bed.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I have no clue what I like.
The bed just came with the house. Just a bunch of feathers, straw smashed in.
It's probably a straw bed.
Burlap sack.
It's just crunchy.
It's a rock from his old cave. He's had it set in there.
Just sleeps on just piles of animal skins.
Well, I had so many years of my life because I toured in a band. And so, like, when I was at your 20s, you think dumb stuff, and you just have these dumb ideas. But to quote-unquote train for touring life, I would just sleep on the floor in my room. And that way, if I had to sleep on the floor when I was on tour, no biggie. If I got a bed, that's like fucking royalty. So for most of my life, didn't have a great bed. When I was a kid, for whatever fucking reason, my parents got me a fucking waterbed. So I had this huge queen-size waterbed when I was a kid.
Probably got their cast-off waterbed.
I did. They got a new waterbed. And then I got the old one.
God, waterbeds. That is such a, like...
Yeah.
That was the thing. My whole entire fucking family had waterbeds. Everyone. Not like my mom and my dad and me and my brother. No, my mom and dad had one. I had one. My aunt and uncle had one. My other aunt and uncle had
I just
one.
imagine your parents in the other room and they hear all this swishing at like 3 in the morning. You're like, oh, he's hand-cocking it up. Just like the rumbling, like it's like
Living up to the namesake.
every time Ray's on the river, he gets a raging erection. It reminds me of my teenage years. I'm gonna give me some fish pussy.
Wow.
Anyway, Chuck, tell us your nerd on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to beat that one.
What the fuck is this that he has here?
Wait,
Oh, my God.
Wait a second. I'm trying to still work it. You just fucked me up.
Guys,
There. Yeah, I'm not.
what has happened to this guy?
Has he moved into the 20th century?
He has. He
All
has.
right, I have memos on this.
I
It's
like
very
that
bright.
he's using his shitty Android one and not the iPhone.
iPad.
Thanks for ruining part of my nerd on.
The
Fucker.
the gift that we gave you.
Yeah, the gift.
For my nerd
It's like
on.
that ground chuck shirt.
Been doing Brooklyn
Yeah.
Nine-Nine.
Yeah, like
Season 5.
We've
Got
already
it through
talked
that.
about it.
Amazing. Still. We had our game night this week. Imperial Assault. Ray's talked about it. We all loved it. Was able to last
Loved
Sunday
it
night.
might be a strong word. Would we say loved it?
No.
I liked it a lot.
I think we loved it.
enjoyed it.
I mean, I'm not putting a ring on it.
I was drinking also. So.
It's no scythe.
No.
No.
Or terraforming Mars.
No.
I would put it at least equal with Terraforming Mars because I think the
No,
art
we played
and all of
Terraforming
the,
a lot,
the
though.
we have, but I think the art and all of the components to Imperial Assault ups it a little bit more than Terraforming because Terraforming has some shit components.
Also,
Yeah, you did have to buy that secondary market stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
What
I'll
did
give you
you
that.
All right, whatever. But also last Sunday, after the podcast, stopped by the local Walmart, and I was able to pick up 2 more Marvel Legends: the Cosmic Spider-Man from the Spider-Man Homecoming wave, and the Cable from the
Deadpool.
Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave.
Mhm.
I'm
Wait,
still.
is that the Deadpool set or the X-Men set?
It's from the Deadpool set.
Okay.
It's the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure. I'm still looking for another one because TJ wants one.
A cable
I
did
hear the
look pretty cool.
Sasquatches are notoriously hard to find.
Is it just a like
Are you
blurred
trying
out?
to build the Sasquatch?
No,
Okay.
the whole wave looks good, but I'm
Okay.
literally 2 figures away from having the whole wave because I really want the Deathlock now. So I'm like, I may as well go for Paladin, but I'm looking for the Cable for TJ because he wanted
Yeah.
one. But
Thank you.
for that, also I today pre-ordered the Infinity War Wave 2 set.
The whole set.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
yeah, it's a nice set. It's
I blame you.
it has
I didn't see any I was in love with
the
in it.
Infinity War, Thor, the Black Widow, which I'm kind of meh about. Does come with an Antman and Wasp repaint of Malekith from San Diego exclusive. I think it was last year or 2 years ago, and it comes with a Black Knight and has 3 different.
Oh, the Black Knight was
You
cool
mean
looking.
Martin
skulls.
Lawrence?
No, so I don't know which Black Knight it's supposed to be because there's been like 4 of them,
A
Unfortunately,
jersey on him.
and it has 3 different head sculpts it comes with, and it's
Oh, that's
also
cool.
King
the
Arthur, what's up?
Cole Obsidian Build-A-Figure is for that one from Infinity War the
Oh,
movie.
that's cool.
That's why he bought the whole
The
wave.
extent of my
Yep.
Martin
Yeah.
Lawrence impression.
And also, it was my birthday this week.
Happy
I know, boo on me.
You persist.
Another year.
37 years, yeah, it's fucking horrible. But I decided I wanted to get a tablet, and the reason being was I got pissed off at Ray.
You
What
got
else
pissed
is
off,
new?
but you got
No.
pissed off because I was right.
I got pissed off at Ray because I
Come to
asked
Jesus
a question
meetings.
for Ray and TJ. I'm like, hey, what X-Men trade should I get? Because I have some extra money. I want to get some more trade paperbacks. Ray's like, Days of Future Past, God Loves Man Kills. Buy yourself a tablet and get Marvel Unlimited.
Because
So I'm like, you know
wanted
what?
to get 10 trades. 10 Marvel trades are about $20 each.
I
That's
didn't say I
about
was going to buy them all.
$200.
I just wanted to see which ones I wanted to get.
I understand.
So
I'm
I'm
just
like,
saying.
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to get myself a tablet. So I got this Samsung Tab A. Got it with a discount because of my dad. Then we have our game night Friday night. lo and behold, the guys throwing me a surprise birthday party, and I'm forever grateful for that. I love all you guys. And then they get me an iPad.
Yeah.
What a bunch of assholes.
No.
Yeah, for real.
Dicks.
It was the fact when I told them, this is awesome. I already bought a tablet. And they're like, holy shit, it took you so long to get a new phone, and you went ahead and jumped the gun and got this.
Yeah. Well,
I'm learning not to count on Chuck for anything.
You can't.
I'm
you
truly
can't, 'cause
surprised.
We've charted his activities over the last few years, and
You think
all
it's
the
going
data we
one
have
way,
on Chuck
and then it goes away.
for the last 4 years or whatever says that in the next 10 years he'll decide to finally get a tablet.
Yeah. I would never... If we were betting money that Chuck would buy a tablet...
I would have had another goddamn tattoo I'd have to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No questions asked. I would have had to have
I
gotten
would've been
another
like,
tattoo.
it's a 99.9% chance he's not going to get a tablet. What the? Who would have fucking thought the 0.01% would actually come through? Fucking should have went and bought a lottery ticket.
Yeah,
Actually,
for real.
I did that night and I lost. So.
Nathan could have said, I bet you
Never
a
tell me the
face
odds.
tattoo that Chuck won't get a tablet. I would have said, I will take that bet. I'll
Yeah.
get a fucking face tattoo. I have never been more floored in my life.
I was like, holy shit.
Or
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Disappointed in someone's growth so much.
Because you didn't expect it.
Yeah.
But that's about it that I've done so far this week, man.
Well, just know on the two tablets, everything you buy app-wise or download for your iPhone, you can also
Put over to
use
the
on the iPad.
Yeah.
Whereas since that's an Android, they won't cross.
Also, Android tablets don't last and they're shitty long term. TJ, what is your
Thanks,
nerd?
man.
Samsungs are good. I just like ribbing you.
Thank you.
Okay. So for new stuff I got this week, while we were at Toys R Us, I found a deal on one of the Mattel Wonder Woman 12-inch kind of like figures, and had a black horse in it. I've been looking for a decent price.
You motherfucker! I thought you were buying that for your daughter.
Damn, dude.
She's getting the Wonder Woman, but the black
Okay.
horse
But he's getting the horse.
is going under the Dark Knight.
Finally.
can I play
Yeah, for
with
my-
this horse?
Nice.
No, get the fuck
Daddy gets the pony. Here's a strong female figure. Go fuck off and do something productive.
So,
God, my ears.
Yeah, I know. Raise
so I finally have a black horse for my Metacom Dark Knight Batman.
It's gorgeous.
However,
Man.
the black horse looks very feminine, so I have to do some
Is it
repainting
like,
or
is it like
something.
prancing?
It's kind of prancing.
I would just put him on. What's He-Man's tiger's name?
Battle Cat.
There you go. That would be just way cooler.
that absolutely would.
As far as video games, still playing around on Mad Max.
How's your maggot
I
farm?
love the fuck out of that Mad Max.
It's a good game.
It's just a lot of fun.
This is going to be like an 8-month thing because like TJ's going to get finished and Chuck's going to be like, well, I bought Mad Max.
He shouldn't have bought it because it was free on PlayStation Plus this month or last month.
Yeah, I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I haven't touched God of War since I bought it, man.
Okay.
You just hate good games.
TV wise,
I haven't had time.
one of the shows I've been watching this week, I kind of went to a blast from the past, and I mean really past, and started watching WKRP in Cincinnati.
Damn, that
Nice.
is old as fuck.
Yeah. But it's still pretty damn funny though. So kind of liking that. And then we got a surprise this week. I'm probably busting into the news a little bit. Mitch Hurwitz from Arrested Development announced that he did a remix and re-edited season 4 from the original format.
Which I was number one blown away by, but the way what he did is what everyone had complained about it.
Yeah.
That the all the stories they did. What's the
I forget
the style, Mike? What's the Japanese movie that goes and tells the whole story through different people's...
Rashomon or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So he did. That's the style he was wanting to do for that
Originally a
season.
book, I think, and maybe a play as well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that's why he did it that way. But a lot of people felt like, oh, you're missing out on all the interaction with the characters and the
What made you kind of love the original Arrested Development?
exactly.
Yeah.
But continue.
So he announces hey, guess at the beginning of the week, he announces, hey, guess what, guys? I did this. I re-edited it, put a lot of work into it, and it's coming out on May 4th, which is
amazing.
Yeah.
And I was really happy because it actually came out on May 3rd, so I got to start a little early. But I like season 4. I know a lot of people didn't.
I didn't.
I
didn't finish it. I disliked it.
I didn't finish it either. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Not bad,
re-edited it,
restarted.
added new stuff to it, and some new scenes. And
Well, it's so funny because when you put that in the messaging group the night before, I decided to hit play on the first episode of Arrested Development. I was like, man, I haven't watched this in a while, so I hit it, and then I'm like, oh fuck, now I actually have a goal to a reason to.
And then also, I mean, it's just been a lot of fun. I'm up to episode 4, and it's so much fun.
Is it better than the last way they did it?
It's kind of odd to say because I know some of the stuff that's that's coming up, and the order that they put it in is a little. I'm getting used to it, but the jokes are still solid that they did.
Does it feel more like the original?
A little more, but you can tell that they're still separated because there's nothing that they could do to really fix that part.
Yeah.
So you can tell that they're still not filmed together, but it feels a little more natural and it feels a lot more like the original show.
Okay.
Like I believe it was in the trailer. There's this part where Lucille's smoking a cigarette, but she can't leave the apartment, so she's blowing the smoke in Buster's mouth. And Buster has to go to the patio and blow it outside. And it's one of those jokes that they run it too long and then they run it more so that it's just...
So you love it.
Yeah. It's just hilarious.
Eats it into it.
Yeah.
So it goes from being funny to not funny to hilarious.
Yeah. It goes from funny to awkward to hilarious. Yeah. It's so good.
Nice.
All right. That's all I really got this week.
Hey guys,
Mike.
so I had kind of a light nerd on this week because I've been wrestling with my car sunroof. It's been a difficult journey, but other than that, on our free comic book day journey last night, we ended up going to Toys R Us, like we said, and I was able to pick up a really cool game that I enjoyed, Outlast.
Never played it.
I played it on PS4. It's really fucking scary. It's a first-person survival horror game. You're a reporter who gets a hot tip that there's some abuse going on in a mental asylum. You get there, and the place is full of fucking crazy monsters and ghosts and murderers and shit.
No, it looked pretty fucking scary.
It's fucking scary.
I didn't know they'd made 3 of them.
Well, Whistleblower was a prequel, and then they made Outlast 2. So it had all 3 of those games, and I got it for 30% off. So it was $20 or something.
I need to come cuddle up in bed with you and watch you play it.
It's fucking scary, man. It's really enjoyable. It's one of the few times I really get into a game. The atmosphere is amazing. Secondly, I got into a new book series. Little did I know, it's actually much older. It's in 1979 when it was written. It was called Janissaries. It's about a group of mercenaries who are on a mission in Africa who get basically surrounded by Russians and Cubans. That's how I knew this book was old, that everyone's leaving for my nerd on.
That's pretty
I'm still here.
Yeah, so aliens show up and pick them up. And they're like, hey, we need you to grow these drugs for us on this primitive planet. We'll pay you a lot and you can live like kings on it. So they drop them on this planet that these aliens have had outside of their galactic empire, nobody knows about it, to grow this weed that they smoke.
Alien weed.
This alien weed, specifically for these guys. And and they kind of get dropped into this middle of the civil war that's going on the planet, and you find out that the humans that are there were actually transplanted from Earth thousands of years ago, and they speak Mycenaean Greek and things like that.
Oh.
So it's pretty fucking cool. I just got to the part where they just showed up on the planet, so it should be interesting. One thing I kind of want to bring up about it is that instantly, just the way things were described, you could tell it was an older book. Like the screens in the alien aircraft, like the monitors were described as very thin television screens, and there was other things that are just funny. And one thing I do appreciate, I don't know if it's just me or nostalgia in general, but I tend to like older books. I don't know, for like especially like sci-fi and all that. It just has a different feel to it. It's written differently.
You think it's because it's so far back that their predictions of the future is almost kind of, you can tell,
More alien almost.
Well, yeah, because when we make predictions now, of course we're still making guesses, but we're so much more tech reliant now. Back then, the tech wasn't there, so they were making like bigger.
They were envisioning
bigger
what could
leaps.
happen.
Yeah,
Another thing I've noticed is that the military sci-fi, the stuff that I'm really into, I think that Audible and Amazon specifically have noticed that this is a very popular niche, because they've had these guys cranking these out constantly, and I feel like a lot of them are just very, very similar. And this also is like just a breath of fresh air, because it was written almost 40 years ago, the first book, and then the other two were written well into the 80s. So it's an interesting take, and it's definitely refreshing for sci-fi. I'm also reading Sirens of Titan by Kurt Vonnegut. It's our book club book. It's very strange. It's kind of like zany sci-fi from what I can tell so far, so I'm not really into it. But it is a Vonnegut book, and, it's considered, I guess, modern literature, if you want to call it that, or a modern classic.
yeah.
Most of Vonnegut's writing is. So I'll give it a fair shake. It's just very strange at this point. I guess maybe I need more time to get into it.
I'm not looking forward to that one as much as the other choices. I was apprehensive just because of Vonnegut. Like, people put him on a pedestal, and I always feel that when I read an author like that, it's not going to meet what I think they're supposed to write like.
Yeah.
Well, the reference we mentioned a lot. It's like watching The Matrix now for the first time.
Yeah.
The graphics, the shooting techniques, the stuff that really made
It's all
that
been
movie
done.
unique.
You've seen it
It's
before.
all been done, and you've seen it before.
Speaking of which, just a FYI, all of The Matrix is on Hulu. Continue.
Yeah.
So, it's not as novel. The things that made it unique for the time may make it pretty, common these days. So, I'm interested in reading a modern classic, especially because I've never read Kurt Vonnegut before. So I am intrigued, but at the same time, I'm not really looking forward to the story. It's just to say that, I read it, and that I kind of have an understanding of his style, and maybe, where a lot of his fans are coming from. And that's kind of my big aim.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what it's, just because the other in the book club, the older sci-fi-ish books we read have all kind of fell flat for me. So I'm curious to see if this guy maybe does better.
One that if I go around again, one I will definitely pick is Rendezvous with Rama. It's a really interesting book. I read it a while back, but I don't remember much about it. But it's one of those things where it's like 1950s, 60s sci-fi. But it's just really cool. The premise is Abe actually recommended to me. He's one of mine and Nathan's mutual friends. But Earth just detects this giant cylindrical object moving through space. So they get a team together to go and check it out. And it's just this dormant alien ship that's just passing through the solar system, and they're researching it while it's here. And it's just a really cool book.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, Rendezvous with Rama.
Started to sound like Star Trek 4 there for a minute.
Yeah. There are sequels to it, but I don't think they were. I can't remember. Don't quote me. I think it's an Arthur C. Clarke book. It might be an Asimov book. It's one of the two, I believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm not. Sort of. Anyway, they're pretty good, but the other books were not written by him, so I've heard that they may not be as good, but I'll give them a chance eventually. But that was my Nerd On.
All right. Take a quick break and come back. We're going to get with Ray with the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you to the newsman of the evening, Jimmy Ray Hancock. Come on now. He's with the news. You're gonna read the news now. Well, I hope it's good, 'cause it's Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray's with the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel.
All right, guys. So let's talk about a little bit of news. First off, we have some toy news for everyone.
Really?
Yeah. Hasbro acquired Power Rangers this week. So that's a pretty big deal. Not the first time Power Rangers has been purchased, though. So that's interesting. But what do you think this is going to do to for the property of Power Rangers?
Hasbro?
Yeah,
Don't
Hasbro
know.
owning
Probably I don't know.
More toys?
Yeah.
A better quality toy?
Does that have anything to do with movie rights, or are movie rights owned by a different studio? Because that's the only thing I would wonder.
Yeah.
Is
Did they pick up everything or just the toys?
Yeah, because if it's just toys, and I mean they'll probably keep making.
I
toys.
mean, they're still making toys. They're constantly everywhere.
Oh yeah, no,
There was tons of like Zords and all that crazy shit at Toys R Us yesterday.
Yeah, tons.
which
of
is so crazy to think like the toys or the brand
It still goes.
because
It's still
I mean,
strong.
the other toys I play with a lot, like G.I. Joe, they're not around. I don't see them as much as I see like you
They're
see
more
Power Rangers, like
collectors type
Yeah.
things. G.I. Joe.
Ninja Turtles have been rebranded. They're so different now with the toys and everything.
Well,
Yeah,
Power
'cause
Rangers does too. You know, they keep rebranding every couple years. You know, the actors, and then I think that each group of children kind of attach to one particular set of Power Rangers,
which is
and that
interesting.
kind of drives toy
Yeah.
sales.
Kind of like they do with Transformers. There's a new type of Transformer that comes out all the time.
I don't necessarily don't necessarily know how they keep change. Like I don't know, like for things that we enjoy, I feel the time has passed for some of them, but for some reason, Power Rangers are always kind of relevant to kids.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Dino Riders is not a more popular thing.
Why
surprised
have
no.
they not brought it back?
Yeah.
Because the figures were
Figures were
so
amazing.
cool growing,
Well,
and they have held their value.
We talked about
They're
last week or the week before. They're doing a
Old-
Mask movie, but
Yeah.
So
there,
we
are,
actually got
increased
more
value,
value.
yeah.
there are no Mask
Eric
Whatever.
Stoltz's
toys.
masks.
And like Mask hasn't been anything since the 80s.
Yeah.
Somebody stop me!
Wow.
I made the Eric Stoltz reference earlier, but you ignored that.
Yeah, must have.
Last night or Friday night it happened also.
Yeah, I think so.
And then also on Saturday night as well, because we talked about Eric Stoltz during Frighteners, because Michael J. Fox was in it.
Okay.
Mm.
And
So
Eric Stoltz was originally Marty
Marty
McFly
McFly,
in Back
yeah.
to the Future. And they filmed the majority of the movie with him in that.
and then didn't like him.
Yeah, and then switched to MJ because they originally made the movie for Michael J. Fox, specifically the end.
Nice.
All right. Video games. Let's talk about some video games. We got a new trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Looks fantastic.
visual porn.
The original came out,
Like most
2010?
Yeah.
So it's been 8 years, and
Wait,
Jesus.
the original came out in... Wasn't it before that?
Red Dead Redemption
2008.
Red Dead Redemption.
came out in 2010.
Red Dead Revolver was from
that
Super
was
Nintendo or something?
no, that was
That was-
PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
2. Okay.
It was a Capcom game that had little relation to Red Dead Redemption,
Mm-hmm.
if any.
I will. You can just tell that they are. Rockstar does pretty good, but just using the engine to the max, and it's just visually gorgeous. Like
It
It's a
is.
stunning game.
I cannot wait to just play that game and
Yep.
just go out and watch the sunset and sunrise. Just the things you wouldn't think you'd want to do in a video game, and when you see it on games like that, it's breathtaking. And you're sitting in your room in your underwear at 3:00 in the morning,
Yeah.
going, "Fuck! I wish I was a cowboy."
Oh, yeah.
I know they said God of War, the new one, is probably one of the better looking games, if not one of the best looking games ever. Red Dead looks amazing.
Yeah, I'll be curious once it to see, because this is the first Rockstar game that they put out for the new systems, isn't it?
That's specifically for the new systems.
Because
Exactly.
GTA 5 was a port.
that was a port. So
It
this
looks beautiful.
I think they will do. They always do a great job. So I'm very excited. And honestly, one of my favorite things about the original Red Dead, which I think we talked about, is the soundtrack was so amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to hear what they have, because even for the song that's on the trailer, it's pretty good cowboy
Yeah,
music.
the story was great too. The voice
story's
acting. It was just an amazing game.
And as what you got, Mike had pointed out, there's some nods to the original because this is a prequel, right, Mike? Have you?
Yeah, it's a prequel. It's the Vanderlyn gang or whatever it was called. This is like the people that John went to hunt in the first game. A lot of these people are gang members that you're a part of, and they kind of describe your character from what I read as like almost a reluctant member of the gang. But it's I guess it's them kind of sensing that things are on the outs as far as being an outlaw in the West, and it's the gang kind of dealing with that and trying to stay together as the I guess the heat increases on them. That's what I read, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been all lies,
because I am very curious. Because playing GTA 5, like there was some really cool mission based where you would rob banks and stuff like that, and you would have to pre-plan it out, choose your routes, and how good you would hire people. The elements I'm sure that they'll put into this, and I'm also curious if they'll do similar to how they did GTA 5, have multiple heroes that you play. I really enjoyed that on GTA 5, so I'd be interested
to see if they do that in this.
Yeah, because obviously I think another focus will probably really look on this one, which is hopefully they'll still do the story really well, but also the multiplayer aspects of what they're going to want to do.
Oh yeah, because multiplayer on Red Dead was pretty good too.
Yeah, I only played it a few times, which it was fun. But to me, when I think of Rockstar, I think of the stories that you get in, and I like playing that game by myself, just going along with the stories and playing out the missions, the side quests, and things like that. So I'm curious if they'll do anything like that. Maybe not, especially if Mike's sounds like Lorraine, where you're just your main hero. But I can't wait. October, what was it?
26, I believe.
October 26, man.
Yeah, 2018, brother.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
2018 solid year all around for media, I feel.
Ray, you gonna pick it up, man? Did you play the first one?
I didn't. I was
Ray lived it.
Yeah. I was gifted the zombie version of it.
I played the zombie one was actually pretty good.
It is a lot of fun.
I played it a lot. I never beat it, or it was the first game that I played multiplayer, like online, and it was I was horrible at it, of course, per usual. But I was kind of upset that I didn't have the regular one, and I wanted to get it and play it before I played the zombie one. Or, but like go through the story mode and all. But then I got rid of my PlayStation and I got the newer model, the PlayStation 4, so I just never got around to it. So
I'll probably download it now.
Yeah, I know I would love it because that's right up my alley. So
we might as well play this one, then you can play the old one.
Play it as a sequel. Chronological order now.
Graphics in the second one suck.
Stranger Things Season 3 has started filming, and as it starts filming, they have announced or greenlit Season 4. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Shocked. Sure, everyone's shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with that, HBO has greenlit Season 3 of Westworld. So the Westworld this will be the third week of Season 2, I believe.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Hopefully that works out where we get the next season a little faster and we don't have another year
Hopefully.
gap. Although it honestly it seems like it's becoming a trend with these higher end shows that they're taking these year breaks. I guess not necessarily breaks because they're filming, but they're not rushing to filming.
Yeah. I'm not gonna don't rush the quality.
Which does allow for writing and maybe better
Has
production.
Game of Thrones been more than a year though?
It'll have been more than a year by the time it comes out.
Is it 2 years?
It's
Yeah.
April
It's a year and a
next year.
half.
Okay.
Yeah, about a year and a half on there. So and American Gods. Took the
and
year.
we also got the announcement that the American Gods will be out in 2019.
And Westworld took a year. So I mean, all these shows are taking years. And I mean, with that being said, when you look at the production quality and the way they're shot, I get it. These aren't your standard sitcom based shows, but it's interesting because so many of these shows, Game of Thrones, perfect example, they were yearly for so long.
Yeah.
And Game of Thrones takes a year gap, and now everyone's like, oh, you can do that?
They were
Get away
yearly
with it.
and they were longer seasons.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So now the Game of Thrones, the last season is shorter and has taken much longer to put together. So
I think part of that too was where the time of the year they had to film.
maybe.
Yeah.
And I will say, graphically, like with the dragons and stuff, they're
takes
looking
longer.
so well, and I think they're not rushing to CGI.
And I think there's probably some things with the actors being in other things as well.
Yeah, you do have to. Yeah, they always have their
Maisie
off-season
Williams is
shoots.
pretty busy, and
Well,
a couple of the others are
Amelia, Clark, where she just got done shooting.
Solo.
Yeah, Solo. So you got to take those type of things into consideration. So, but
maybe a new trend we see in these higher end TV shows.
Which, if they keep the quality up,
I don't
mind. Yeah.
I don't mind. My thing is just like, especially when you think from a production for HBO or Showtime Stars, you need to have two high quality shows to kind of crisscross year over year.
That's actually what I thought was going to happen with Westworld in it, but then Westworld got delayed too.
They took the year of filming too. Yeah.
So I guess it sort of is filling in the gap right now.
At least you'll have Westworld for this year, and then you get Game of Thrones. But then after that, you need another show to kind of like to stagnate, where at least once a year you got something to look forward to as a viewer. Because and this is purely hypothetical, because I keep HBO year round because I do like other shows.
Yeah.
But for so many people that subscribe just for when Game of Thrones is on, and then they get rid of it.
Yeah.
If that's 2 years that you're waiting, I mean, how much revenue are you losing?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Speaking of shows, Hulu has a show called Castle Rock that is a Stephen King property.
Yes.
It will be coming out July 25th, and we watched the trailer for this. So what are y'all's thoughts on this?
I'm curious.
I'm very interested.
Yeah, I'm interested too. I'm curious if it's an anthology, because part of it looks like a Carrie sequel.
Part of it
Sissy
looks like
Spacek.
Shawshank.
There's definitely a Shawshank kind of sequel thing going on there.
I think it's going to be a town where a bunch of weird stuff's happening, because it looked like the black gentleman that's in it. It might be like the main person where everything's being perceived from.
Well, Castle Rock is a town in some of Stephen King's books.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they have multiple things going on where it's not an anthology. It's like a bunch of stuff going on.
It could be an anthology, but it's still that guy's kind of like a catalyst.
Maybe he's
through
the
whole
narrator
thing.
through it.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
So it
An Erie, Indiana sort of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Nathan? No.
I don't know.
All these different
know that
stories
reference.
are going on, and this guy's always around with it. He's like kind of like the narrator per se for all the events.
It
could be.
The preview, it looks good.
Yeah.
I actually, to be honest, when you hit play, I was like, I don't give a shit about this. And then by the end of it, I was like, I give a shit about this. I'd actually like to watch
some
it.
pretty good stuff. Did any of y'all watch Handmaid's Tale?
I haven't. I'm probably one of the only guys that
I
hasn't.
keep
Season 1
seeing
was...
shit for that, and I'm kind of tempted.
Me and Allison never watched the last episode of it because
It wasn't that
was
good.
No, it was good. It was just tough to watch, and it was one of those that like we kind of want this to keep going.
Yeah.
We just never finished it. But season 2 just came out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
They was pretty high quality stuff, and I mean Hulu has done some pretty decent stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
But I mean, the last couple of things King has done it's done well. So I'll trust this.
any King thing can be hit or miss because his
Very
stories are
hit or
usually
miss.
pretty there. I don't read a ton of King, so I assume he probably has some shit out there.
Well, I mean, I know people shit on the Dark Tower movie,
got a
but then
bunch
you
of
had it. It was a success.
Yeah.
Yeah, movie adaptations
Gerald's
are
Game
either here or there.
was pretty good from what I've heard. I like 1922. I thought that was amazing, and then this looks like it's going to be just up that alley. It's going to be good.
Well, I watched the first season and part of the second season of Under the Dome.
Yeah, I
and
need
it
to
was
watch
fine.
that.
What was that JFK show that they did, 1969 or something like that?
Shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was on Hulu, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Hulu one. It's James Franco in it.
That one looked really good, and I never watched it though.
Yeah, I never got around to it.
Yeah,
But
'cause it's a time travel.
Yeah, which is right up my alley. But looks like we're getting a Swamp Thing live action. DC announced the name of their streaming service that they're going to be doing. We talked about this a couple of weeks or months ago. DC Universe, this is going to be their streaming thing. We're also going to get a Harley Quinn, the Titans show that we've been seeing stuff from. That's going to be on that. And Young Justice Outsiders
interesting.
will be on there as well.
Is that a sequel to the other show, or?
Don't know. They just released the the titles and the logos and everything.
So this made me go watching some old Swamp Things stuff.
Really, you went and watched some? Where did you watch this?
I watched highlights, but so the entire Wes Craven Swamp Thing movie is on YouTube.
Oh, it is?
Wow, yeah.
And boy, it's bad. I tried to watch certain parts. I kept skipping
remember it from
through.
when I was a kid, and that's
Swamp Thing's so bad looking. He looks terrible. He looks like almost like the Toxic Avenger, but green in a rubber suit. And then I watched some clips from the TV show,
Which was huge for USA back in the day.
I loved it. I used to watch, and he looks amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't you watch the clip I sent?
No.
Ah, you asshole.
I don't watch clips.
Was Craven who did
No, I
something?
sent a screenshot. I'm sorry.
he did the old movie one,
like
not
70s,
the TV show.
60s.
Yeah,
But
it was pre-Nightmare on Elm Street, I think.
I feel like Swamp. I may be way off, but I feel like Swamp Thing was one of the things that made USA back in the day.
it might have. I mean, I remember the show as a kid, but I don't really.
That and American Gladiator.
I just
Duckman.
American Gladiator. That's awesome.
fucking love. I would watch it in American Gladiators if it came on right
I remember
now.
growing up and thinking, man, he looks so badass. But it's one of those things I was like, it's probably just kid memory. But watching that clip, he fucking still looks good. It looked great, actually. Now, I don't know how the episodes were.
Yeah, they were probably man.
But I'm pretty excited for them to make a new one. Hopefully, it'll be as good as it
Well,
was.
especially within the climate that we're in right now, with the superheroes and the way stories are being told on TV shows and all.
How much content are they going to have?
That's what I'm worried about. Honestly, I don't think we need a DC streaming service
Because they own DC is owned by Warner Brothers, so they have access to all the WB stuff.
A WB streaming service, that would be good.
Yeah.
That would be something that I wouldn't want to have to pay extra money for, but I get it.
Yeah.
But like a DC one, they have all their, if they're going to put all their like animation on there,
Still
I guess
not a lot.
That's a lot of stuff. They have a lot of that.
They have a lot of animated movies, and they have a lot of animated series.
Yeah.
But I also, I'm wondering, with the shows, the DC shows that they have, will they be able to stream those through there?
Well, it's the same company. Warner
it's all the
Brothers
same company.
owns CW, and
okay.
They own DC. So
That's a good bit of content. I don't know how much longevity unless they
you got
continue
Smallville
putting out
there. You've
Smallville.
got
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's enough to merit.
I can only say I was pissed when I first read
a
it.
couple months.
I thought it was a comic streaming service like
No, I
Marvel
agree.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
I was pissed, and I started reading. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, they definitely need that.
That's what I thought it was, and I'm like, no, it's about shows. I'm like, I'm done reading this.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about content. I'd have to see
I
a
am
kind of a
too.
lineup
Unless
before.
this is like way cheaper. If this is like a $5 a month thing, well,
That's not bad.
I might make that dive.
The only thing is like if they're making their own shows, like the quality too. How good it's going to look.
Yeah.
well, we've
Well, I
seen
think
the
that
Teen Titans one.
Well, and that was they've said that's a phone camera. That's none of the stuff finished. We don't know the context of any of that. I'll give them that. We haven't gotten anything
give
from
them that to
the
an
other stuff
extent.
we've gotten has looked really good.
Yeah.
So some of the photos they put out of the character designs and all. So I don't know. I just we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because I mean, especially if the Disney one's coming too. I mean, fuck.
Disney's
if I
got
have to
a hell of
decide,
a lot more content.
Yeah, if I have to decide, I'm going Disney.
Yeah.
So, Stallone's back. Old Sly, he's coming back for Rambo #5.
I'm pretty excited for this.
Really, it's only the 5th one. Wow. Okay.
But damn it, he's taking on Mexico.
All of Mexico.
He's taking on the drug cartels, which is a perfect Rambo story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although
cocaine and machine guns.
The one issue is like, how is he going to find water to come up out of slowly with a machine gun and start blowing people away? Like,
They do have water in Mexico.
I know.
But don't drink it, but it's there.
Yeah,
historically,
exactly.
when you think of Mexico, you think of the desert land and stuff like that. That's why I think of Mexico.
Montezuma's Revenge.
Jamie Foxx has been offered the part of Spawn in the Todd McFarlane film Spawn.
What?
He'll
About the
take it.
character Spawn.
He's barely supposed to show up in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know. There it is. That's what it is. I'm throwing that out there to you.
Jamie Foxx.
I'll throw you $1 million to barely show up in a movie. No, fuck, why not?
I'm
No.
there.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx as the Spawn.
I'm not the biggest Jamie Foxx fan.
Jamie Foxx is a good actor. Jamie Foxx wasn't great in Spider-Man.
Nah, I mean, most of his movies are kind of shitty.
I loved him most in Living.
He was good in
Living
Ray.
Color.
Well, yeah, no, he does. I'm not saying he's necessarily a bad actor, but his track record, I don't know. I liked him in Collateral. Like, I think that's the movie I really enjoy Jamie Foxx in.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Yeah, and Jamie Foxx automatically to me is not I gotta watch that. But
Yeah.
I do recognize him as a decent actor, so.
He can do good.
Yeah. And we also got a new trailer for Ant-Man and Wasp. So what were y'all's thoughts on this newest trailer?
Looks fantastic.
Yep.
I like some of the choreographed fight scenes where they utilize their powers in order to whip ace.
Yeah, looks like we're going to get a lot of that, which would be fun. The villain, I love the look and design.
Yeah, the design of Ghost
and the
looks
powers
great.
too. The powers are really fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, just that washed out white look to it. Just
looks like a TV going out of scenery and everything. That looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this movie. The first Ant-Man I thought was just okay, but I think this one is upping it up, and I think it's gonna be badass. Dare I say, really, really good.
I think it's at least going to be really, really fun. I think that's what
It'll be fun.
When going into an Ant-Man movie, as long as you keep it fun, that's what it needs to be. It doesn't need Ant-Man movie is not a real fucking serious movie.
Yeah, I think the MCU really needs a fun movie right now. After the last movie.
It absolutely do.
Oh yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
And that'll be coming out July 6th, so we don't have too long to wait on that.
No,
they're
very close.
Yeah, they're throwing them on there. We've got Deadpool coming out in next weekend. The weekend after next weekend. 2 weekends. And then Solo's coming out right after that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So,
the next weekend.
So, man, we won't even notice it before Ant-Man and Wasp are here.
No.
May's
stacking up.
So it'll be so small.
Exactly. Well, that's all the news I've got this week, and I don't think we had any mailbag this week either. So,
well, that pretty much wraps up old Nerds That Get Laid.
That's the one. We've done it.
Been a fantastic episode, guys. I liked it.
I enjoyed it. I give it a 7 out of 10.
I had a good time.
I don't think it was that good.
I'd give it 14 jalapenos, though.
God damn.
14 and a half.
14
That's a lot of
14 and a
jalapenos.
half.
Pickle?
Yeah, from
Pickled or bacon wrapped with
from how
cream
much
cheese.
of the shits this podcast gives me, I would say 14 jalapenos sounds appropriate.
Well, guys, like always, check us out on the Instagrams and the Facebook. We try and post. We try our best to post, and we've done pretty good, I think, lately.
Better, at least.
Yeah.
Don't forget us on YouTube. We're putting up those sweet ass videos and time lapse videos.
Those
It's
are
all
coming.
time lapse lately.
All time lapse. A lot of
We're all the time.
But also, if you want to listen to our podcast through YouTube, we post it up there every week. So.
And
So
on
that's
Spotify as well.
and-
That's a pretty new video.
Yeah, we are
new
on
medium.
Spotify, which is great. So.
And if there's not enough of us, you can always go listen to Ray for that.
we're 2 episodes of Fitness for Nerd. I'm still working on the 3rd episode. So.
Maybe if we start putting extra pressure on you, you actually knock the other one out.
I'm actively working on it because there's a lot of stuff that I want to read first before I throw all that shit out there. So I'm still working on it.
Is the entire catalog on Spotify?
Of what? Of
This podcast.
Our podcast, yeah.
Okay, so they can actually listen
I'm
to it when it was
pretty
really
sure.
good before I got here.
There's definitely a lot
If
of
it's
it.
not, there's a good 200 episodes on there. You might
Okay.
not get 217 that we're currently at, but there's 200 on there.
No, I'm just asking for the fans.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a good evening.
Later.
Bye.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nerds Who Get Laid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks World Wide podcast network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod podcast network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks World Wide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!